Alright guys, so week 1 went so well, I figured I would come back for a second week. I've still spent way too much money in Hockey Ultimate Team, but I got some news. Some hot news. This is hot news, week 2. I'm No Sleeves 12. Oh my god, that's hot. It's like my pack openings. So guys, like I said, here we are with week 2. Now, week 2 brought us our first team of the week, which I'm going to go into in much greater detail in just a little bit. It also brought us a new collection of 5 alumni cards that are only available in packs this weekend, and there's actually some decent ones this time around other than that Fire Solani from last week. We're also going to cover Hut Champions' new released rewards, and we're going to go over some really good teams and whatnot that I've seen so far on PlayStation. So, let's get right into the Team of the Week. So, this is our first look at what Team of the Week will look like with the new +2 rating system. So, all of these cards are now +2 from their base cards. So, Jeff Carter went from an 82 to an 84. The only ones, I'll be quick and brief about this, to be honest. On forward, the only one that's really viable that you would actually want to consider and maybe spend your coins on would be the Jeff Carter. He's an 84 overall with good speed and shot. Everyone else, they have good speed, but shooting is so much more important this season than any of the other previous ones because goalies stop everything. And without around an 85 shot as far as power and accuracy goes, they really can't pick corners and things like that. Now on defense, the MODANO is also really interesting. It has burner, might be a card that you want to go after. I've seen it on the market right now, at least on PlayStation. It's quite expensive, like 60, 70, 80k I've seen it for. So that might be a little bit of a stretch considering it's only an 84. And then lastly, we have Cam Talbot in net. Again, he's only an 81, but he does have burner, so anyone that's trying to build a cheaper team or a free-to-play team and just looking to go after certain specific players, Talbot might be one you want to go after. 1, because the card art is sick, and 2, because he's got burner. So now let's move on to the 5 alumni that were released today. Starting with Calgary Flames Joel Otto, who is a center, has great face-off rating, and again, he's an 85 with decent speed, with decent shot as well. This would be a card that, if you can get within 50, 60k, wouldn't be terrible, to be honest with you. Next up, one of my childhood favorites growing up in Southern Ontario, Curtis Joseph was the man. I would love to have this card. I already went to the auction house to see if I could pick it up. It's around 80k right now. Problem is that he would just be a backup for me. He's really small, obviously at 5'11". It's tough to use him as your starter, but again, this is a sick card, and once he drops in price, I would love to get him. And here's this week's biggie, Mike MODANO, former North Star alum. I love how they have it as the North Stars. This is a fantastic card, just like the Solani last week. If you can get him around 400k, I saw later in the week it went for like 800 and 700 for the Solani. You're only really going to get one shot at these guys, I think. They might be releasing other sets and whatnot. Mike MODANO, I know, has a Milestone Legend, for example. But this is a fantastic card, and if you have 400 or 500k, I would definitely pick it up, especially early on, and especially for the early Hut Champions and whatnot. Another kind of cool card to see in the game from my childhood, RUSLAN FEDOTENKO from the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was fantastic in their cup run back in 2004. Really cool card to see. He's an 83 overall, but the problem is his speed and shot are terrible. It's his defensive ratings that are so high why he's an 83. I would avoid, unfortunately. It is a cool card that they put in the game, but yeah, his speed and shot just isn't worth no matter what the price. And lastly, we have the Quebec Nordiques' first alumni, Sylvain Lefebvre. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm trying to do the best French I could there. Another one you can just pass over. Unfortunately, speed and shot, much like all the other alumni, the shooting isn't terrible, but the speed is just too low for you guys to use. I wouldn't go out and drop, the 10k or 5k, whatever it is, to buy him. Just not worth it. Next up, we got our first Hut Champion season reward. It is 90 overall Marty Turco from the Dallas Stars. Another sick card from my childhood, honestly. Marty Turco was a beast for Dallas in the playoffs in the early 2000s, And top 5 in this season's Hut Champions will get you him along with all the other packs. If you qualify, you're going to get a gold pack regardless. So if you can, I'd recommend just trying to qualify no matter what. I was able to. I'm going to play it this weekend, but the reward is sick. If you're a top player, definitely something to go after, because a free 90 goalie, even if you don't use him or you don't like him or you don't find him good, the 90 overall boost will give your overall score to your team, a boost, and that's just cool to say. You have an over 90 team, right? Just helps the rating. Lastly, we've got some interesting news. The upcoming Season 2 for Hut Champions is bringing a sick 90 overall Gary Roberts. His card art is kind of whack, but hey, whatever. 90 overall Gary Roberts is sick, and that's going to be a card a lot of players will want to go after. 1, because it's Gary Roberts, and 2, because it's a 90, and that's going to be a fantastic card, especially this early in the season. So that's something to look forward to for the next Hut Champions. I kind of just wanted to go over the market real quick after this week. Gold collectibles are just rising in price, guys. On PSN specifically, they're up around 30K. If you want to do some quick math, that's about 400K to make a legend. And what I mean by legend, I mean like the Danico, Domi, Ally Frady, or any of the lower ones. That's a ton for 400 for an 88 overall. I mean, I get you get the legend tokens, but until that comes down, it's probably worth not making the legends unless you plan on spending a lot of money in the game, because then you're always going to have golds and whatnot to sell. Hot tip, if you have gold commons, an easy way to make money is you just sell them for about 1,800. That's an easy profit. Another good tip is if you go into the auction house and look at expiring gold commons, just look and see. They're going to go for like 400, 500. Last second bid like 900. Instantly flip it for a buy now for about 1,700, and you're in business. That's a huge profit, but a lot of players are doing it. But if you do it around midnight, overnight, it's really easy to do, and you're going to make yourself a ton of coins. It's crazy. Everyone's just buying all these cards to do sets, and it's really not worth it. I mean, the Sakic is sick, but unless you're spending real money in the game currently, guys, you're just blowing through your coins if you buy now for your sets. Unfortunately, it's tough. To be honest, if you spend money in this game, I would do the gold normal packs, just because you get more players you can do for the sets, and you can actually make a ton of money by selling gold commons. It's nuts how much coins you can actually make in the market right now, and honestly, I think it's in a good spot. I think the market is in a great spot. It's kind of bottlenecked all the top players. I mean, there is one Mario Lemieux somehow, but other than that, there's no 99s out there already, and I think that's a fantastic adjustment. So let's give you guys an update on my team. Right now, it's at a 91 overall. This week, I picked up Eddie Olchuk for about 280, and I made the Trevor Linden 89 Curry. I also finished the Theo and Fleury. I actually really like that card. It's a good milestone to grind. Yvonne Cornway and Ovechkin moved down to the 3rd line, and then I've got the 88 Bob Probert with my Forsberg and Stamkos all on the 4th line. On defense, it's kind of boring. I've gotten Carlson and Coffey, but after that, it's I do kind of want to upgrade at least Subban or Brad Park. I'm not a big fan of Brad Park. I just haven't really found another one that I've spent all my money on. In net, I've got Billy Smith and Johnny Bower. Billy Smith's been fantastic. Johnny Bower just raises my goaltender rating. So, it's going really well so far. Spent a lot of money, but working the market quite well. And, yeah, it's gone really well. And to end things off, guys, what I want to do is kind of highlight some who might have a better team than me each week. So we're going to start with my boy Rick Shell, who I joke with every single day because we're in a battle for best team on PS4. He's beating me right now, unfortunately, but he's one of the best players on PSN as far as Hut goes, and his team is nuts. Go give him a follow. The links to his Twitch is in the description. Streams constantly, and he is a top player, guys. So let's hear from Rick Shell about his Hut team.
What's going on, boys? It's Rick Shell, and my team is 100% better than No Sleeves. Look at this. Don't mind the lone players. Look at this.
Well, I mean, at least he's modest, right? Alright, guys, so that was Hut News for Week 2. I'm going to do this every Friday night to kind of catch you guys up on what's going on in Huts. If you guys haven't caught me on Twitch, I'm on Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The streams have been lit, boys. Pulled a lot of packs, grinded for a lot of cards. It's always fun, so come check that out if you guys have my links down below in the description as well. And sub to my channel if you want to support me. Growth is crazy, and I can't wait to see what the rest of NHL 19 brings, so You guys stay sweet.